Forget everything you know about AI assistants. Claude is different, and today I'll show you exactly why, and more importantly, how to use it to its full potential. Here's the only no-fluff guide you need to get started with Claude. Hi everyone, Alex here from Claude AI Studio. Today we're diving deep into Claude, and trust me, this isn't just another AI assistant. Whether you're completely new to AI or you've been using other tools like ChatGPT, this guide will show you everything you need to know to get started and make the most of Claude's unique capabilities. Claude is widely regarded as the best language model for coding, and users also praise its writing style for being more natural and nuanced than other AI models. By the end of this video, you'll understand what makes Claude different from other AI assistants, how to use its most powerful features, and the advanced techniques that will take your workflow to the next level. Let's dive straight into Claude. For those of you familiar with ChatGPT, Claude offers a simple and clean chat interface, similar to what you're already used to from ChatGPT. Let me show you how to choose the right model for your specific needs. Claude 3.5 Sonnet is the best all-round performer. You'd use this for complex reasoning, coding, and really any task. You also have the choice of Claude 3 Opus, which excels at writing and complex tasks. Generally, you'd use this for long-form writing or more creative tasks. And lastly, you have Claude 3 Haiku for quick and simple tasks. Honestly, I'm generally sticking with Sonnet as this is an incredible model for most purposes. Before we go too deep, let's talk about the free versus pro version. The free version is definitely great for most users, but there are some key differences you should know about. It's not crystal clear from reading this page, so let me elaborate a bit more. Most notably, in my opinion, is the access to projects, model access, and the token limits. A key advantage that Claude has historically had is its large context window. Even the free tier offers a large context window with 100,000 tokens, while the Pro plan offers 200,000 tokens. For power users needing to analyze big documents or handle complex technical queries, you probably need the Pro plan and the 200k token window. However, casual users will probably be perfectly fine with the free tier, especially for everyday tasks like email drafting or basic research. While the free tier offers basic artifacts and some persona adjustment, there are some big benefits with the Pro plan with regards to the advanced features. Notably, the Pro version's artifact feature includes real-time code preview and interactive debugging tools. These are not available in the free tier. Pro subscribers can process higher resolution visuals, I believe up to 4K, with detailed object recognition. And they also get twice as fast response times with Claude 3.5 Sonnet compared to the free tier. The free tier users also face some limitations. In terms of file uploads, I believe you have a 15 megabyte file limit versus 50 on the Pro plan. You also have some restrictions in terms of the API access, and you're not going to get any project history. On the free plan, you do get basic multilingual support for around 15 languages, and on the Pro plan, I believe you have more than 25. Well, enough talk, let's jump back into Claude. So one of my favorite features is the style options. This completely changes how Claude communicates with you. You can choose how Claude writes and responds to match your needs. This helps you get more consistent and useful responses. So out of the box, Claude supports a number of different styles. Concise for shorter response and more messages. Explanatory for more educational responses. And the formal style, which gives you more clear and well-structured responses. In addition to that, you can create and edit your own styles. So to create your own style, you click the Create Custom Style button. And here are a number of different ways to actually get started defining your style. So one way to define your style is to provide examples of your writing style. So this could be, for instance, upload a number of your blog posts or emails or documents you've written in the past. And then Claude will analyze it and help you define a style based on the examples you provide. You can also describe your style by essentially typing in the main purpose of your style, what you're going to use this particular style for. You can also define the audience that you're targeting with this specific style. You can provide elements relating to the voice and tone of your style, or you can also provide a more general description of your style. There's also an option to provide a fully customized instruction set. Now, this is a more advanced way, but you can actually chat with Claude and ask it to help you define your style. So here's an example of a custom style that I've defined called crisp communication. In summary, this style is something that I use when I want to communicate with clear language and essentially avoiding specific words in communication. You can easily go in and edit the style here or rename it. And you can also try to preview any given style with a number of examples provided by Claude. For instance, I could write a marketing blog post, and then it will apply my style definition to this prompt: write a blog post about sustainable fashion trends. I've defined a number of principles for how I would like Claude to communicate. I've also given some preferences on word choices and also specifically words and phrases that I would like it to avoid. I also provide examples of specific terms to replace and say, for instance, instead of utilize, I would like to use the word use. Instead of terminate, I would like to use the word end. There's a lot of options here for you to customize your style. And you can, of course, refine that by testing it out and running different prompts with your style and then adding to the style definition. You also have the option to customize your profile, essentially define instructions for Claude to apply across all of your chats. Now, this is slightly different than styles, but it can also include styles. So as you can see here, what personal preferences should Claude consider in responses? Claude can use these preferences in every chat along with project instructions and styles. For my own usage, I typically have a definition of certain behavior that I would like Claude to avoid, to refrain from certain things like providing a lot of disclaimers, and also to ensure that we keep answers distinct and non-repetitive. I also instruct Claude to seek clarity if questions are unclear, and I also want it to acknowledge and correct any previous errors. So now when you're in the chat, you can of course choose the style you would like to apply. So I can choose my crisp communication style, and I can also choose to include my preferences or not apply the preferences that we just defined. Under profile settings is also where you can turn on some of the features like artifacts, prompt examples, and also the ability to provide suggestions if you upload a CSV to the conversation. Speaking of uploading files, so let's start by uploading a PDF document. I'm here uploading the latest Google AI agent paper, which is a fairly decent sized document. And then we can ask it to provide a summary of this report and provide me with a TLDR section. So in addition to uploading files, we can also open a web page and essentially copy the entire content and paste that. And I quite like this feature in Claude where it converts a long text on the clipboard into a document when you paste it in. So in this case, we can paste in the document. You can see that it turns it into a text document. And then we can say, compare this paper to the Google paper and highlight the key differences in approaches. Now we could apply the concise format and ask the same question. And there you see the difference in style. Unfortunately, Claude doesn't offer the same search and web access that you find in Perplexity and ChatGPT. So pasting a link directly doesn't currently work. What's really impressive is how Claude can understand and analyze the content of these files, making it perfect for research, data analysis, or document review. You can also upload images, and I've been quite impressed by Claude's ability to recognize objects and understand and analyze images. It can extract and read text from images, including handwriting and different fonts. Claude can also understand complex diagrams and technical drawings. And it can provide detailed descriptions that capture both obvious and subtle details in an image. So let's upload a picture that I took with my phone earlier today and then ask, please analyze this picture and tell me what you see in this picture. So let me just show you this picture. This is from my brand new snowblower, which I'm really proud of. And you can see that now we use the concise style. It says that it's an Ariane snowblower, likely a newer model based on its design. It appears to be in a garage and storage area with some other equipment visible in the background. Let's try this again with a longer form style. So let's do this again. So now it goes into a longer and deeper analysis, as you can see, and it highlights quite impressive details. So you can see that it's an Ariane snowblower. It gives me some information about the characteristics of what it's seeing. It adds in some information about the model. It also highlights some of the features that it sees in the picture. And it also talks about the environment around this snowblower in the picture, highlighting some of the other items available in my messy garage. So bicycles, notably a blue container marked with a hazard symbol, likely containing fuel, which is spot on. A good observation. Pro tip when you're working with images is that you can ask Claude specific questions about what you see, and it can focus on particular areas or aspects of the image, making it quite a great tool for detailed analysis. Now, let's look at projects. This is where Claude really shines. You need the Pro plan to access projects, but it's definitely worth it. Each project can hold up to 500 plus pages of text, making it easy to keep all your documents and conversations in one place. So let's create an agentic AI knowledge hub. You can think of projects as a way to group and define tasks or jobs to be done with a given context. And you can add context by uploading PDFs, documents, to give Claude the required knowledge for this project. So let's start by uploading a few papers. So you can upload these PDFs, but you can also add a document and paste text content directly. You define the rules and instructions for your projects by clicking here. This is where you tell Claude how to respond to all conversations within this project, and you can sort of think of it as a system prompt. If you find it difficult getting started with project instructions, a pro tip is to ask Claude help you write the project instructions for you. We actually made this whole video about the Anthropic console and how it writes advanced prompts for you. I'll put a link in the description below. So you can actually do a very quick example of that. So let's just say, write a system prompt for a project containing research papers and thought leadership pieces about agentic AI. The AI shall answer with succinct and understandable language to the point. So here you can see that it actually helps us generate a prompt. You can of course tune that and tweak that, but just for the purpose of this simple example, we can just take this and paste it in as a project instruction. So we set our project instruction, and then it will take this into account in all the conversations that we have in our project. So now we can start asking questions about the project knowledge that we have in the project. Tell me about the differences between Google's approach to AI agents and Anthropic's recommendations around building effective agents. So you can see that Claude now takes into account the documents that we've added to our project, and it also uses the project instructions that we've defined for this project. It will also apply the choice of style that you've selected. In this case, we use the explanatory style. Here's a pro tip for you. You should make separate projects for different types of work. This will help Claude stay focused on the right context and rules for each task. For example, you can group related datasets, reports, and analysis requirements together. Claude can refer to past work and keep using the same approach across your analysis. Another example would be to store research papers, notes, and key findings in one place. Claude can link information across documents and help you spot patterns. You can keep style guides, past articles, and brand guidelines in one project. Claude learns from these to match your writing style and follows your rules for content. I typically use projects for specific tasks. So here I've bookmarked projects in my browser, and I'll start with a concept brainstorming project. So we can have a quick look at the project instructions. You're tasked with transforming a raw brainstorming session for an idea or concept into a well-structured concept description. And then there's a lot of steps to follow and also a definition of the output that I would like this project to generate. So here I can, for instance, then say, I have an idea about a magical rainbow wand that can generate beautiful rainbows and with some soothing sound effects. And that was obviously one example of a brainstorm, but then it will actually generate according to the project instructions and create this whole well-structured concept definition. And you can use this for a lot of different things, for instance, generating ideas for content production. And in my case, I can now take the output between the concept description, and I'll take that, and then I'll open my other project, which is the concept idea to prototype project. Now, in this case, I can paste that in. The project instructions for this project is expecting a well-structured concept description, as we can now paste in from our other project. And then it will turn that into a prompt that we can use for an AI coding assistant to develop a proof of concept or an MVP. So in this case, I'm just going to paste in the concept description from the output from our other project, and then I'm just going to run that. I'm not even saying anything because it knows exactly what to do. So it's a super quick way to work with projects. Here we can see that Claude is elaborating on the concept, and then it's structuring it into what I can then use as a prompt in, for instance, Bolt or Lovable to generate my starting point prototype or MVP. Pretty cool. So you can see here that it's put the actual prompt within these tags, AI Coding Assistant prompt. So I can simply just take that prompt and then paste that into Bolt or Lovable or Cursor. So there I have a simple workflow from brainstorming through concept definition all the way into a prompt in seconds that I can use then to build out my first version of an MVP or a prototype. If you're on a team plan, you can also share projects with coworkers to collaborate on the projects. Artifacts give you a separate window next to your chat to work on larger content pieces like code, documents, or diagrams. Think of it as an interactive workspace that stays open while you chat with Claude. With artifacts, you can switch between different versions of your work, run code, and see the results straight away. You can change specific parts without starting over, download your files, or even publish your artifacts online. Now let's have a look at how we can use artifacts. I'll start by uploading a CSV file with the incidents data from the Norwegian police. A pro tip here is to make use of the analysis tool in Claude. You need to turn that on under feature preview over here, and then you can simply ask Claude to analyze the data. Please analyze this data and provide me an overview of what I could use this data for. And you can see now that Claude actually runs code to go through the data and analyze the data for you. And then you can see the output that based on this data, it appears to be incident data from various police districts in Norway. It highlights some of the categories. It talks about some of the patterns in the data, the distribution of the data fields, and then it suggests, some next steps for us. Now we could say, for instance, use artifacts and give me a visual representation of the main incident categories. Now you can see Claude triggers the artifact functionality showing up on the right-hand side of the screen next to our chat. You can see that it's generating the code, and then it's actually showing us the preview of what this code generates. So now you can see it generated this bar chart based on the data in the file that I uploaded. Now, we can, of course, then iterate on this code and on the visual. We can, for instance, say, in this case, we might want to draw inspiration from something that looks a bit prettier. So let's, for instance, just go in here and look at some charts from ChadCN. Yeah, maybe we want to do a pie chart instead. So I can simply do a very quick screenshot of this one. And then I'll paste that screenshot in there. And then I'll just say, let's do a pie chart instead. Please draw inspiration from this screenshot and give me a visual representation of the main incident categories. So now it takes into account what we presented. Hopefully it'll identify the color codes. You can see here it's using different shades of blue, just as we do in the screenshot. And then it's generating the new code. Now, notice that it's actually keeping versions of every step. So you can actually go back to the previous version where we had our bar chart. And now we got our pie chart distribution of the incident categories. And then you can keep working on that and continuously iterate on the visualization. Let's make it interactive so that we can click on a category and show the 5 latest incidents from each category. You can also use this functionality to iterate on a document, for instance. It doesn't have to be code. So you can ask it to use artifacts to give you a draft of a document, and then you can easily start editing and making changes in that document and improve on your document. So now it's generating an interactive version of our pie chart, where hopefully we're going to be able to click on a category and then see the latest incidents within that category. So now we can click on a category and then we'll actually see the latest incidents for that category. Pretty cool. Now you can actually go in and make changes to the code yourself, or you can even select parts of the code and then ask Claude to explain this code or improve this code with natural language text. This same functionality works on documents, on diagrams, so that you can yourself interact with the content and iterate together with Claude. So apart from code and generating artifacts using React, as we are doing here for the visual front end, we can also generate SVG and even mermaid charts with artifacts. There's a lot of possibilities with artifacts in Claude, so I suggest you try it out. So now you can copy the content of the artifact, you can download it to a file, and you can even publish the artifact. Now that we've covered the features, let's discuss how to get the best results from Claude. As with any conversational AI, context is king, and the rules for prompting applies in order to get the best results. Avoid generic and vague prompts. I would highly recommend applying this super simple framework for better prompting. Provide enough context, assign a role to Claude for your task, be specific and provide examples if relevant. If you want to level up your prompting, make sure to check out this video up here. Lastly, make sure you use the project feature to supercharge your results and work effectively with Claude. And there you have it. I hope you found this guide helpful and that you will try out Claude if you haven't already. If you want to dive deeper into AI tools and techniques, make sure you check out this next video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community at Claude AI Studio. Drop a comment below with your favorite Claude feature or any questions you have. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.